The champagne glass shattered against the marble floor. 22 faces turned toward me. Then toward him. Richard Blackwood, my father-in-law, stood at the head of the boardroom table. His Armani suit cost more than most people's cars. His smile cost me everything. "You're fired, Chloe," he said. "Effective immediately." The room spun. 8 years. 8 years I'd given to this company. To this family. My husband Ethan stood beside his father. He wouldn't look at me. "The divorce papers are on your desk," Ethan added. His voice was flat. "Good." I stood up. My legs shook. But I stood. "Is that all?" I asked. Richard laughed. "Security will escort you out." Behind me a chair scraped against the floor. Then another. And another. I turned around. Marcus, our CFO, was standing. So was Jennifer from legal. David from marketing. One by one they all stood up. 22 people. They started walking. Not toward me. Past me. Past Richard. Out the door. The last one to leave was Sarah, my assistant. She stopped at Richard's desk. She placed something down. Small. A flash drive. "What is this?" Richard's voice cracked. Sarah smiled. "Everything." The door closed behind her. Richard's face went white. He grabbed the flash drive. His hands were shaking now. "What did you do?" he whispered. I picked up my purse. I learned from the best. Before we continue, please write in the comment which country you are watching this video. We love knowing where our global family is tuning in from. And if this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe. Your support helps us bring even more epic revenge tales of life. Enjoy listening. The morning started like every other morning in the Blackwood mansion. Ethan's side of the bed was already cold. He'd left for his gym session at 5. Like always. I stared at the ceiling. The chandelier above our bed cost $80,000. I knew because Richard had told everyone at dinner last week. Twice. My phone buzzed. A text from Richard. "Board meeting at 9. Don't be late." I was never late. In 8 years I'd never been late. The shower was marble. Everything in this house was marble or gold or crystal. After 4 years of marriage it still felt like a museum. A beautiful cold museum. I chose the navy dress. Richard preferred his executives in dark colors. "Colors are for secretaries," he'd say. The kitchen was empty. Our housekeeper, Maria, had left coffee in the thermal carafe. But no sugar. The Blackwood way. "Good morning, Mrs. Blackwood." I turned. James, our driver, stood in the doorway. "Morning, James. Is the car ready?" "Always, ma'am." The ride to Blackwood Industries took 20 minutes. 20 minutes of silence. James had worked for the family for 15 years. He knew the rules. No small talk with family members. The building rose 60 floors into the Manhattan sky. Glass and steel. A monument to Richard's empire. The security guard nodded. "Good morning, Mrs. Blackwood." "Morning, Terry." The executive elevator required a special key card. Mine was gold-plated. Another Richard touch. The 40th floor housed the executive offices. My office was at the end of the hall. Corner office. Floor-to-ceiling windows. A view that stretched to Central Park. Sarah was already at her desk outside my office. "Coffee's on your desk," she said. "The Johnson contracts are ready for review." "Thanks, Sarah." She followed me in. Closed the door. "We need to talk," she said. Her voice was different. Quiet. Urgent. "What's wrong?" She pulled out her phone. Showed me an email. This was sent to all department heads last night. At midnight. I read it. Then read it again. "Restructuring plans. Effective in 6 months. Your position is being eliminated." My position. Chief Strategy Officer. The position I'd earned. Built. Made essential to this company. Who sent this? It came from Richard's assistant. But look at the attachment. She scrolled down. There was a PDF. A contract. They're bringing in someone from outside. Maxwell Sterling. He starts in 6 months. Maxwell Sterling. I knew that name. Richard's golf buddy. His old Harvard roommate. Does Ethan know? Sarah's face said everything. The email was CC'd to him. My husband knew. My husband knew and said nothing. "There's more," Sarah said. He pulled out a folder. Bank statements. Not mine. I shouldn't have these, she said. But a friend in accounting thought you should know. The statements showed transfers. Large transfers. From a Blackwood Industries account to an offshore account. These go back 2 years, Sarah said. Always the same amount. Always the same day. $5 million. Every month. For 2 years. Whose authorization? Look at the signature. It was mine. Except it wasn't. The signature was close. Very close. But the C, it was wrong. The loop was too wide. Someone's setting you up, Sarah said. Richard. We can't prove it. No. But we can prepare. Sarah looked at me. What are you thinking? I'm thinking Richard Blackwood forgot something important. What? He taught me everything he knows. The board meeting was in 2 hours. I sat at my desk. Stared at the contracts Sarah had given me. My phone rang. Ethan. Hey babe. Lunch today. His voice was normal. Cheerful even. I can't. Board meeting. Right. I forgot. Dinner then. Sure. Love you. The words felt like glass in my throat. Love you too. I hung up. Sarah knocked. It's time. The boardroom was on the 60th floor. The penthouse level. Richard's domain. The table could seat 30. Today 23 chairs were filled. Richard sat at the head. Ethan to his right. I took my usual seat. Third on the left. Let's begin, Richard said. The meeting was routine. Quarterly reports. Projections. New acquisitions. Then Richard smiled. One more item. Not on the agenda. He stood up. Walked to the window. The city stretched below us. Change is coming to Blackwood Industries, he said. Big change. His eyes found mine. Some of you will rise with this change. Others. He let it hang there. Others will find new opportunities elsewhere. Marcus, our CFO, shifted in his seat. He'd been with the company for 12 years. Are you announcing layoffs? He asked. I'm announcing evolution, Richard said. This company needs fresh blood. New vision. The company is posting record profits, Jennifer from legal said. What vision are we lacking? Richard's smile tightened. The vision to see beyond tomorrow. Chloe's strategic planning has increased our market share by 30%, David from marketing added. Has it? Richard asked. Or have we succeeded despite certain limitations? The room went quiet. If you have something to say, Richard, say it, I said. He turned to me. I always do. The meeting ended. People filed out. Hushed conversations. Worried looks. Ethan hadn't said a word. He just sat there watching. I went back to my office. Sarah was waiting. How bad? He's making his move, I said. We need to make ours. What do you need? Everything. Every document. Every email. Every contract from the last 8 years. That's thousands of files. Then we better start now. She nodded and left. I sat at my desk. Looked out at the city. Richard Blackwood had built an empire. But empires had fallen before. And I'd learned from history. That night, dinner was at the mansion. Richard insisted on family dinners every Sunday. The dining room could seat 20. Tonight it was just 4. Richard, his wife Grace, Ethan, and me. The salmon is perfect, Grace said. She always said the food was perfect. Maria outdid herself, Richard agreed. Silence. The clink of silverware. How was the board meeting? Grace asked me. Productive, Richard answered for me. Very productive. Ethan was cutting his salmon. Precise. Methodical. He still wouldn't look at me. Chloe's been quiet, Richard said. Not like you. Just thinking. About. The future. He smiled. Good. The future is what matters. After dinner I went to the library. Richard's sanctuary. Walls of books he'd never read. A desk that cost more than most houses. I wasn't supposed to be here. Another unwritten rule. The bottom drawer was locked. Always locked. But I'd learned things in 8 years. Like where Richard hid spare keys. The key was behind a first edition Hemingway. Predictable. Inside the drawer were folders. Contracts. Letters. And photos. Photos of Ethan. With someone who wasn't me. The woman was blonde. Young. Pretty. The dates on the photos went back a year. Find what you're looking for? I turned. Ethan stood in the doorway. How long? I asked. Does it matter? A year? 2. He walked in. Closed the door. Her name is Ashley. Dad introduced us. Richard introduced you? She's the daughter of a client. A very important client. And you fell in love? He laughed. Love? Chloe, when did we ever have love? The words hit like a punch. We had something. We had a business arrangement. You wanted success. I wanted Dad's approval. We both got what we wanted. So what's changed? Dad doesn't need you anymore. The company doesn't need you. And you. He finally looked at me. Really looked at me. I never needed you. He left. I stood there holding the photos. Then I noticed something else in the drawer. A document. A will. Richard's will. Dated last month. Ethan inherited everything. The company. The money. Everything. Except there was a condition. He had to be married to Ashley within 6 months of Richard's death. Or everything went to charity. Everything. I took photos of every document. Every page. Then I put everything back. Locked the drawer. Replaced the key. Went upstairs. Ethan wasn't in our bedroom. I packed a bag. Just essentials. Then I called Sarah. Can you meet me? Where? The office. 1 hour. It's Sunday night. I know. I'll be there. The drive to the office was quiet. James didn't ask why we were going out so late. The building was mostly empty. Just security and cleaning crews. Sarah was in my office. She'd brought coffee. And Marcus. I called him, she said. We need help. Marcus looked tired. Worried. Richard's planning something, he said. The books don't add up. What do you mean? Money's missing. A lot of money. And it's being hidden well. I showed them the photos from Richard's office. Marcus whistled. This is big. It gets bigger, Sarah said. She pulled out her laptop. I've been tracking emails. Using a program I shouldn't have. On the screen were emails. Hundreds of them. Richard's been talking to Sterling for months. But look at this. She opened one email. Once C is removed, we can proceed with the merger. C. Marcus asked. Chloe, I said. There's more. The merger isn't just any company. It's Apex Industries. Apex Industries. Our biggest competitor. He's selling us out, Marcus said. No, I said. He's selling me out. And using it to get rich. What do you want to do? Sarah asked. We build a case. Quietly and carefully. That's dangerous, Marcus said. Richard has connections everywhere. Then we need our own connections. Sarah smiled. I might know someone. Her name was Rachel Torres. She sat across from me in a coffee shop downtown. Far from the Blackwood building. Far from Richard's reach. Sarah says you need help, she said. Rachel was a forensic accountant. She'd worked for the FBI before going private. I need proof, I said. Of financial fraud, embezzlement and conspiracy. She sipped her coffee. Against Richard Blackwood? Yes. That's a death wish. Maybe. Will you help? Why should I? I slid a folder across the table. She opened it. Her eyes widened. This is the tip of the iceberg. She closed the folder. I'll need access. Real access. Sarah can get you in the system. And if we're caught? We won't be. He studied me. You're very confident. I learned from Richard. He taught me to always have a backup plan. What's yours? You're looking at her. She smiled. When do we start? Tonight. Over the next month we built our network. Carefully. Quietly. Jennifer from legal joined first. She'd suspected something was wrong for months. David from marketing came next. Richard had passed him over for promotion 3 times. One by one we recruited. Not everyone. Just those we could trust. By the end of the month we had 22 people. All gathering evidence. All preparing. Meanwhile I played my part. The dutiful wife. The loyal executive. Dinners with Ethan were performances. Board meetings were stages. Richard thought I didn't know. Thought I was blind. But I saw everything. The way he whispered to Sterling on phone calls. The way Ethan avoided our bedroom. The way money disappeared from accounts. We have enough, Rachel said one night. We were in Marcus's apartment. Safer than the office. Enough for what? I asked. To bury him. Prison time. Asset forfeiture. Complete destruction. Not yet. What more do you need? I need him to make his move first. Sarah looked worried. That's risky. Everything about this is risky. What if he moves too fast? Marcus asked. He won't. Richard likes drama. He'll want an audience. How do you know? As I know Richard. He didn't just want to fire me. He wants to humiliate me. And you're going to let him? I'm going to give him exactly what he wants. Jennifer leaned forward. And then we show him what real power looks like. 2 months before the deadline, things accelerated. Richard started making changes. Small at first. My parking spot was reassigned. Construction, he said. My assistant was transferred. Restructuring. My budget was cut. Efficiency measures. Each cut was careful. Legal. Documented. He was building a case against me. He's good, Rachel admitted. Everything looks legitimate on paper. Of course it does. Richard doesn't make obvious mistakes. Neither do we, Sarah said. She'd been busy. Creating shadow files of everything. Backing up data Richard didn't know existed. Look at this, she said. On her screen was an email. From Richard to Sterling. The board meeting is set. February 15th. Everything will be resolved then. February 15th. 3 weeks away. That's when he'll do it, I said. Public execution. We'll be ready, Marcus said. We need more than ready. We need perfect. I went home that night to an empty house. Ethan was at another business dinner. Maria had left a note. Mr. Blackwood wants you at breakfast tomorrow. 7 a.m. sharp. Summons. Not an invitation. I climbed the marble stairs. Walked the long hallway. In our bedroom I found a box on the bed. Inside was a dress. Red. Expensive. Not my style. A note was attached. Wear this to the board meeting. R. Richard was choosing my execution outfit. I hung the dress in the closet. Then I called Sarah. Change of plans, I said. What kind of change? We're going to give Richard exactly what he wants. Which is a show. The next morning, breakfast was in Richard's private dining room. Just him and me. You look tired, he said. Long nights at the office. That won't be a problem much longer. He cut his eggs. Precise. Deliberate. Exactly like that. Then you know why I have to fight. I know why you think you have to fight. But Chloe, Richard doesn't lose. There's always a first time. Not with Richard. He's too smart. Too connected. Too ruthless. We'll see. She set down her glass. He'll destroy you. Maybe. Then why fight? Because someone has to. She looked at me. You're not like I thought. Neither are you. Be careful tomorrow. Richard's capable of anything. So am I. She stood. Started to leave. Stopped. The red dress. Don't wear it. Why? Because that's what he expects. And the key to beating Richard is doing the unexpected. She left. I sat there, drinking wine, thinking. Tomorrow would change everything. I woke at 5 a.m. The bed was empty. Had been for weeks now. I showered. Chose my outfit carefully. Not the red dress. A black suit. My best one. The one I'd worn when I closed the Singapore deal. My lucky suit. The mirror showed a different woman than 8 years ago. Harder. Stronger. Ready. My phone had 12 messages. All from the team. All confirming they were ready. I deleted them all. Breakfast was coffee. But my hands were steady. James was waiting with the car. Big day, Mrs. Blackwood? The biggest, James. Good luck. Luck has nothing to do with it. The drive felt longer than usual. Every red light. Every turn. Time stretching. The building looked the same. But everything was different now. Security nodded as always. The elevator rose as always. But this wasn't always. This was the end. My office was exactly as I'd left it. Boxes packed. Desk clean. Sarah was at her desk. She looked up. Ready. Born ready. The others are already in the boardroom. All of them. All 22. And Richard. He's there. With Sterling. And Ethan. Perfect. I checked my watch. 8:45. 15 minutes. Sarah? Whatever happens, thank you. Don't thank me yet. Why? Because we haven't won yet. We will. How do you know? Because we have something Richard doesn't. What? Each other. She smiled. Go get him. I walked to the elevator. Pressed the button for 60. The ride up felt like ascending to judgment. The doors opened. The hallway stretched before me. At the end, the boardroom. I could hear voices. Laughter. Richard's laughter. I walked. Each step measured. Deliberate. The boardroom door was oak. Heavy. Imposing. I pushed it open. 25 faces turned to me. Richard was standing at the head of the table. Sterling beside him. Ethan to his right. The others were seated. My team. All 22. Chloe, Richard said. Right on time. I'm never late, Richard. No, you're not. Please. Sit. I walked to my usual chair. Third on the left. Actually, Richard said. Sit there. He pointed to a chair at the far end. The furthest from him. I sat. Let's begin, Richard said. He pressed a button. The screen behind him lit up. Blackwood Industries has been my life's work, he began. 40 years of building. Growing. Succeeding. Heads nodded. The usual speech. But success requires evolution. Change. Fresh blood. Here it comes. Which is why I'm announcing a major restructuring. He clicked. A new slide. An organizational chart. My position was gone. Effective immediately, the role of Chief Strategy Officer is eliminated. Silence. Chloe, you're terminated. The words hung in the air. Furthermore, he continued, I have evidence of serious misconduct. He clicked again. The forged signatures. The missing money. All pointing to me. Embezzlement. Fraud. Betrayal of fiduciary duty. That's not true, I said. The evidence says otherwise. Security will escort you out. Your personal items will be sent. What about my contract? I have a year left. Voided. Gross misconduct. You won't get a penny. I see. Do you have anything to say? I stood. Yes, Richard. I do. I looked around the room. My team. They were ready. You taught me everything, I said. How to read contracts. How to find weakness. How to destroy enemies. And yet you lost. Did I? Marcus stood up. Richard's smile flickered. Jennifer stood up. Then David. One by one they all stood. All 22. What is this? Richard's voice cracked. They started walking. Past me. Past him. Toward the door. Where are you going? Richard shouted. This meeting isn't over. Nobody answered. Sterling looked confused. Richard, what's happening? Ethan was frozen. Staring. Sarah was the last to leave. She stopped at Richard's place. She reached into her pocket. Pulled out the flash drive. Placed it on the table. What's this? Richard asked. Everything, Sarah said. She walked out. The door closed. Silence. Richard, Sterling, Ethan, and me. Richard grabbed the flash drive. What did you do? I learned from the best, I said. He plugged it into the computer. The screen changed. Documents. Emails. Bank records. His face went white. The merger with Apex, I said. The embezzlement. The forged signatures. All there. This is fake. No, Richard. It's very real. And in about 5 minutes the FBI will have copies. You're bluffing. Rachel Torres doesn't bluff. He knew that name. The fear in his eyes told me. You hired Rachel Torres? I hired everyone I needed. Sterling was backing toward the door. Richard, I had nothing to do with. Sit down, Maxwell, I said. You're in those emails too. He stopped. Ethan finally spoke. Chloe, what have you done? What I had to do. You've destroyed everything. No, Ethan. Your father destroyed everything. I'm just showing everyone the wreckage. Richard slammed his fist on the table. You think you've won? I have lawyers. Connections. I'll bury you. With what money? The FBI freezes assets in financial crime cases. This won't stick. It will. Every document is authenticated. Every witness is ready to testify. Witnesses. All 22 who just walked out. They've been gathering evidence for months. Pion people? They were never your people, Richard. You just paid them. His phone rang. He looked at it. His lawyer. He answered. What? His face changed as he listened. He hung up. The FBI is downstairs, he said. That was fast, I said. Rachel must have sent it early. You destroyed my company. No. I saved it. The board will appoint new leadership. Clean leadership. The company will survive. You won't. I picked up my box of personal items. Chloe, Ethan said. Please. We can fix this. There is no we, Ethan. There never was. I walked to the door. You forgot something, Richard said. I turned. He was holding the divorce papers. Sign them. Gladly. I walked back. Took his gold pen. Signed with a flourish. There. You're free to marry Ashley. Though I doubt her daddy will want his daughter marrying a bankrupt criminal's son. I dropped the pen. The elevator ride down felt like flying. In the lobby, FBI agents were everywhere. Rachel was there. She nodded. Outside, my team was waiting. All 22. We did it, Sarah said. No, I said. We just started. The news broke within hours. Billionaire CEO Richard Blackwood arrested for embezzlement. Blackwood Industries scandal rocks Wall Street. 22 executives who exposed corporate corruption. My phone rang nonstop. Reporters, lawyers, board members. I ignored them all. Instead, I sat in a small cafe with Sarah, Marcus, and Jennifer. What now? Marcus asked. Till we wait, I said. For what? For the board to realize they need us. All of us. All of us. My phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Miss Chin. I said not to use Chin, but I'll change it. Ms. Rodriguez? Who's calling? Thomas Hartle, chairman of Blackwood Industries Board of Directors. Mr. Hartley. We need to talk. About. The future of the company. I'm listening. Not on the phone. Can you come to my office? When? Now. I looked at the others. They nodded. I'll be there in an hour. And Mr. Hartley? I'm bringing my team. How many? 22. Silence. That's a lot of people. That's what it took to save your company. I see. Yes. Bring them all. I hung up. What did he want? Sarah asked. What we expected. They need us. To clean up Richard's mess? To rebuild. Better. We called the others. Within an hour, all 22 were in Hartley's office. He looked at us. This small army that had toppled a giant. The board has voted, he said. We need new leadership. Stable leadership. Trusted leadership. And? I asked. We're offering you the position of CEO. Interim. Permanent. If you want it. Under what terms? Your terms. Within reason. I want my team. All of them. In the positions they deserve. Done. I want full autonomy. No interference. Agreed. And I want Richard's assets that were gained illegally returned to the company. That's up to the FBI. But the board will support it? Yes. I looked at my team. They were smiling. Then I accept. Hartley stood. Extended his hand. I shook it. There's one more thing, he said. What? Ethan is contesting the divorce. He says you manipulated everything. Let him. I have the best lawyer in the city. Who? Jennifer raised her hand. That would be me. The marble floor felt different now. Not cold. Just solid. Foundation. I stood in what used to be Richard's office. Now mine. The view was the same. The city stretching endlessly. But everything else had changed. Sarah knocked. The quarterly reports, she said. How do we look? Profits up 12%. Stock price at an all-time high. And morale? Higher than it's been in years. Good. There's a visitor. Who? Grace Blackwood. I hadn't seen her since that night. Before everything fell apart. Send her in. Grace entered. She looked older. Tired. Chloe. Grace. Please sit. She sat. How's Richard? His trial starts next month. His lawyers think he'll get 15 years. Minimum. I'm sorry. Are you? For you. Not for him. And Ethan. Ashley left him. When the money disappeared. He's working at a small firm downtown. I know. You're keeping tabs? I like to know where everyone is. That sounds like Richard. I'm nothing like Richard. No. Richard destroyed things. I build them. She smiled. Sad but real. I came to thank you. For destroying your family? For freeing me. I filed for divorce. After 40 years. What will you do? Travel. Life. Breathe. Good for you. She stood. The company's in good hands. It always was. Richard just couldn't see it. He walked to the door. Stopped. He still doesn't understand, you know. Richard. He thinks it was luck. That you got lucky. What do you think? I think you're the daughter I wish I'd had. She left. I sat at my desk. The desk that used to be Richard's. My phone buzzed. A text from Rachel. Celebration dinner tonight? The whole team. I replied. Yes. Our usual place. 22 people who'd risked everything. Who'd stood up when standing up meant falling down. Who'd walked out when walking out meant walking into uncertainty. My real family. My chosen family. That night we gathered at the restaurant in Brooklyn. The same one where we'd planned everything. Marcus raised a glass. To the woman who brought down a giant. To the team that stood behind her, I countered. To justice, Jennifer added. To new beginnings, Sarah said. We drank. We laughed. We celebrated. So what's next? David asked. We build, I said. We grow. We prove that power doesn't have to be corrupt. Think we can do it? We took down Richard Blackwood. We can do anything. The waiter brought our food. We ate. Planned. Outside snow began to fall. Soft. Clean. A new beginning. The champagne glass felt light in my hand. 22 faces watched me. But now they were smiling. We stood in the boardroom. The same boardroom where everything had ended. And begun. 2 years ago, I said, we stood in this room and made a choice. Heads nodded. We chose integrity over security. Truth over comfort. Justice over safety. I looked at each face. Sarah, Marcus, Jennifer, David, all of them. Today, Blackwood Industries is the most valuable company in our sector. Our stock has tripled. Our reputation is impeccable. And it's because of all of you. I raised my glass. To the 22 who walked out. And walked into history. We drank. The door opened. My assistant entered. Ms. Rodriguez? You have a visitor. Who? He says his name is Ethan. The room went quiet. I hadn't seen him since the divorce was finalized. Send him in. Ethan entered. He looked older. Humbled. Chloe. Ethan. Could we talk? Privately. I looked at my team. They started to leave. No, I said. Stay. Whatever he has to say you can hear. Ethan shifted uncomfortably. I came to apologize. For everything. The affair. The betrayal. Standing by while Dad destroyed people. Why now? Because I've had 2 years to think. To see what real leadership looks like. What do you want, Ethan? Nothing. I wanted you to know. You were right. About everything. I know. You built something amazing here. We built it. All of us. He looked around the room. At the people who'd stood up to his father. I'm sorry. To all of you. Nobody responded. I should go, he said. He walked to the door. Stopped. Chloe? That morning. When Dad fired you. You knew, didn't you? You knew what would happen. I knew. How? Because I knew your father's weakness. Which was? He thought fear was stronger than loyalty. He was wrong. Ethan left. The room was quiet. Then Marcus laughed. Did we really do all this? We did. Sometimes I can't believe it. Believe it, Sarah said. We've got the scars to prove it. And the success, Jennifer added. I walked to the window. Looked out at the city. 2 years ago I'd stood in this room while Richard tried to destroy me. Now I stood here as CEO. Surrounded by people who'd risked everything for justice. You know what the best revenge is? I asked. What? Sarah asked. Living well. Building something better. Proving them wrong. Is that what we did? That's exactly what we did. My phone buzzed. A news alert. Richard Blackwood denied appeal. Will serve full 15-year sentence. I showed it to the others. It's over, David said. No, I said. It's just beginning. What do you mean? We've got a company to run. A legacy to build. A future to create. Together. Sarah asked. Together. I looked around the room. At my board. My team. My family. The marble floor didn't feel cold anymore. It felt like victory. Richard had taught me everything about business. But my team had taught me everything about loyalty. And in the end, loyalty won. It always does. The champagne glass shattered against the marble floor. But this time it was an accident. Sarah had gestured too wildly while telling a story. We all laughed. I'll clean it up, she said. Leave it, I said. It's perfect. Broken glass is perfect? It's real. Honest. Human. Everything Richard wasn't, Marcus said. Everything we are, I corrected. 22 people who'd walked out of a boardroom. And walked into history. The company was ours now. The future was ours. And we'd earned every bit of it.